Okay, we're gonna call Lynn Manrique before we get rid of the bugs.
Modern European History, Lynn Manrique.
Hello, my name is Nancy Drew. I'm calling from Paris. Actually, I talked to you earlier when you tried to call Manette.
She's finally calling me back? Wonderful. Please, put her on.
I'd like to, but I'm afraid she's still too busy to talk to you.
Oh,
But if you don't mind, could I ask you a couple of questions about Noisette Tournade?
certainly.
How long did she live in the Moulin, where Manette now has her studio?
She lived there for 55 years, from 1949 to 2004. She sold it when she moved to Provence, which is where she passed away. She never married, you know. Very private person. She served as Paris's director of public works for more than 20 years, yet not one person has been able to tell me what her favorite color was.
What did she do during the war?
From 1942 until the liberation of Paris, Noisette worked as a translator for the Germans by day and an encoder for the French resistance by night. This, as you might imagine, made everyone suspicious of her, both French and Germans alike. And after the war, things got ugly. Especially when people found out she was romantically involved with a German soldier. His name was Hans von Schwesterkrank.
You're kidding me. Was he by any chance related to Dieter von Schwesterkrank, the fashion photographer?
I'm afraid I have no idea. Hans left Paris right after the war and never returned, leaving Noisette to fend for herself. She was tried as a collaborator in 1946 and acquitted, but the experience left her quite bitter. You see, some people said that during the war she took various pieces of artwork, mostly from churches, and stashed them away somewhere so they wouldn't fall into enemy hands.
Were they recovered after the war?
The artwork remains lost to this day. No one knows exactly what Noisette took, or if indeed she took anything. In any case, Noisette was terribly hurt that the city she loved had turned on her like that. After her trial, she told the press that the truth of what she'd done during the war resided in her and in the person and place she loved the most. And that was that. She never spoke of her wartime activities again. I assume that the person she was referring to was Hans von Schwesterkrank, who passed away a year or two ago, and that the place was her beloved Moulin, which is why I'm hoping Manette will allow me to visit it. Now, I've got a question for you. In the hours before she died, Noisette was said to have constantly muttered 3 words: red, left, green. Is there anything inside the Moulin that has to do with red, left, green? Anything at all?
No, but I'll keep that in mind and let you know if I see something.
I'd appreciate it. Any other questions?
What was the French resistance?
That was the name given to the various groups of men and women who did their best to undermine Germany's military occupation of France during World War II. Some would engage in strikes and sabotage, while others would collect and pass intelligence along to the Allies. Needless to say, their operations were highly covert and very dangerous.
What else can you tell me about the German occupation of Paris?
The German army entered Paris on June 14th, 1940, and after France formally surrendered on June 22nd, the Germans controlled the city. They took whatever they wanted: food, supplies, houses, artwork, and dictated how Parisians were to live their lives. Naturally, their presence was deeply resented. Some people ignored the situation as best they could. Some collaborated with the Germans, while others, like those in the resistance, fought back until the city was finally liberated on August 25th, 1944.
After the war, when she was the director of public works, what kind of things did Noisette do?
She oversaw many of the services which the citizens of Paris enjoyed every day. Streets, bridges, parks, their maintenance all came under Noisette's purview. She particularly enjoyed putting various forms of art on permanent display in various public places, especially parks.
What did you mean when you said Noisette was tried as a collaborator?
Collaborators were French citizens who not only failed to resist the occupation, but actually helped the Germans keep it going. Because Noisette had worked for the Germans as a translator and had a German boyfriend, after the war, many of her countrymen automatically accused her of collaboration. When it was revealed that she had been a member of the resistance, instead of exonerating her, that just made some people think she'd been spying for the Germans too. As I said before, it was an ugly time, one which poor Noisette spent the rest of her life trying to forget.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
My pleasure. Bye.
So this is the part in this game that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because you start to kind of look into this whole Noisette Tournant thing, and it's like, well, what does that have to do with Minette being a crazy weirdo? I don't know. I mean, I guess Nancy's like, oh, well, Dieter is one of our suspects.
Okay, guys, end of the line. You are out of here.
And he's being suspicious about Noisette Tournant, so maybe that's the connection, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But it's okay, because it's still a fun game with fun puzzles and characters and everything, so... Ugh, okay, we still can't talk to JJ. I thought she would have been back. We can talk to Dieter about his, suspicious activity.
Sounds like someone's in the dark room. Mr. von Schwesterkrank? Are you in there?
Who's there?
Nancy Drew. I just wanted to ask you some questions.
I'm very busy. You'll have to come back.
I just wondered what you were doing in Square du Vert Galant Park.
I was just taking a walk.
You dropped an obituary about Noisette Tournant. Shall I leave it for you?
There's no need. I don't want it.
Why were you carrying it around?
Because I was going to send it to my grandmother. I thought she knew the woman. Turns out she didn't.
You also dropped some kind of trinket. Looks like a miniature clock.
That's something my great-uncle Hans gave me. It's actually a key.
Hans?
It opens the panel over there to the right of the bookshelf. He lived here during the war. The place has been in the family ever since.
What's behind the panel?
Go ahead and see for yourself. Just be prepared to go a little cuckoo.
What's up with this?
So, all of these have to be set to 3. And it's very annoying. And you only have a certain amount of time to do it, which I failed. I feel like usually going counterclockwise works. I mean clockwise. Okay, maybe not. Oh wait, did I just have it and then I messed up? There we go.
Mr. von Schwesterkrank? Believe it or not, that key your uncle gave you opened up some kind of passageway. Is it okay if I see where it goes?
A passageway? He never said anything about a passageway. Go ahead and explore it all you want. Just be careful. This building is very old.
Bonjour, madame. I wonder what that symbol means. The year when our despair ended. The year when my despair began.
So it's like a little riddle. Since we know Noisette was very involved in World War II, you can try the year that World War II ended. It's 1945. Okay. So this is Noisette's journal. We thank you for your bravery and dedication for working with the Resistance. Please know that this work is extremely dangerous and under no circumstances should you ever reveal any information or contacts you have learned about. We will provide further instructions on the M380 machine, a wonderful contraption we like to call our dear old friend. I'm sure 380 will soon become your share of me the more you use it. Essentially, 380 allows for the encoding and decoding of messages. Here are some tips. You must set the 3 dials in the correct position before decoding or encoding a message. then just type the message. If you ever enter an incorrect key during decoding, the machine may reset. Also, be sure the dials are set correctly. If not, the message will be encoded or decoded incorrectly, or the machine may reset. Never use the enter or return key. That will reset the whole machine. Just ignore line breaks. Ignore any punctuation. A circle with a slash through it is a 0. Rachel and I will soon be in Paris and hope to meet you. I'm quite intrigued by your metro system of transportation and have been thinking about how to use the numbered lines and names of metro stops for a code. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. As in hint, hint, hint. And thank you for your advice on using date shift ciphers. I never thought about using other numbers besides just dates. One could use the number of a house address like 1216 Sunnyside Drive, the population of a town, the ID number of a favorite friend, etc. Try it out. Use the Dewey Decimal number of my favorite book, 109 Rust, to decode the following message. Rose P. We often use the Cross of Lorraine as our symbol. Joan of Arc used it, you know. Okay. So, some hints for future puzzles or ciphers.
Mr. von Schwesterkrank? Are you in there?
Who's there?
Nancy Drew. I just wanted to ask you some questions.
I'm very busy. You'll have to come back.
But this is really important. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Well, if you want, you could take some stock photos for me.
Sure.
The list of things I need pictures of is on my desk.
I'll get right on it. Oh no, the list is in French.
And we can take his camera. So basically we have to take these pictures. Oh, dang. Okay. We have to take these pictures before we can talk to Dieter. And we can buy a French-English dictionary from the vendors, but I know that one of these words means spider, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take a picture of the spider since we're here. And unfortunately do this again, which is very annoying. Oh, why did I do that? Okay, take a picture of the spider. This book that we got from one of the vendors is about codes, and the date shift cipher, so they were talking about that. The dot cipher, we'll use that later, and then this is the M380. So what we're trying to do...
Wonder what that thing is. Those dials remind me of the stone discs in Minette's studio. The ones she got paint all over.
What we're trying to do is decode this message.
Looks like some kind of code.
And to do that, we have to, one, buy this...
What intrigues Mademoiselle this time?
Well, let's see.
We have to buy
That
this.
looks just like the picture that was in Noisette's code book. How much is this?
I have been told that it is probably a decoder used by those who resisted the German occupation of World War II.
Really? How much do you want for it?
Nothing, it is not for sale. It is a piece of history. I have it only as an eye catcher.
But you're a businessman. You must be willing to part with it for something.
I will trade you one piece of history for another. You give me a bottle of Mouton Fouetté, 1968, and I give you the decoder.
Deal. What's Mouton Fouetté?
Mouton Fouetté 1968 is a very rare beverage that is usually stored underground. Unfortunately, finding an intact bottle has become next to impossible. But if you want that to go there, the impossible is what you must do. So, get me a bottle of Mouton Fouetté 1968. I will accept nothing less. In the meantime, what else tickles the fancy?
A wetsuit.
Not just any wetsuit. It used to belong to a friend of the famous undersea explorer Jacques Cousteau. A friend who is said to have shared many adventures with him. For that reason, I sell it for 125 euro.
Okay, I'm gonna try this one.
I couldn't possibly pay more than 63 euros.
Vendu.
Oh, thank you.
What else tickles the fancy?
I really don't want to buy anything right now.
Very well. Au revoir, mademoiselle.
Au revoir.
Okay, so I got the wetsuit because we'll be needing that later.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. You are asked to return. I have many new things. You see?
Yes, you do. I could use a French-English dictionary. How much?
This is the best French-English dictionary you can buy in all of Paris. Not too big, simple to use, hundreds and hundreds of words. I practically give it to you for 30 euro.
How about 23 euros?
It is yours. What else appeals to you?
I could use a flashlight. Mine was in my lost luggage.
That is only 10 euro. Batteries included.
5 euros seems fair.
It is yours. What else appeals to you?
Actually, I'm not interested in buying anything right now.
Then you will just have to come back.
I might just do that. Bye.
Au revoir.
Okay, running kind of low on euros, but I think we can make it with this. Okay. So, first, look at this to take pictures. So, candle is on the list, skull is on the list, and cross is on the list. Spider, which I already took a picture of, stapler is on the list. I don't think any of those are on the list. That might be it. Wait. Teapot. Teapot's on the list, and that is it. So, let's take a picture of this cross. And then that's it for here. We can go back to the Mulan to get a picture of the stapler and the teapot. And give Heather her
Did you get the stuffed parrot?
Here you go. What's it for, anyway?
It's a Minette thing. You wouldn't understand. No one would.
What's with all the red paint that's splattered on the wall in Minette's studio?
I came in one morning last month, and there it was. Minette must have had a bad night.
You didn't ask her about it?
Minette always throws things when she's upset. Remember what happened when you first arrived?
Oh yeah, the potted plant. I get your point. Why did you write Minette that threatening letter?
What? You think I wrote those letters?
I saw the memo you sent Minette about fonts. The letters on it match the letters on one of the threats I found in her dodo box.
You opened Minette's dodo box?
That's the real reason you didn't want me looking in there, isn't it?
Okay. Couple months ago, I got so fed up with her that I just had to get back at her somehow. I'd seen how upset those other letters made her, so I sent one of my own, but just that one. And I never intended to really do anything to her. I just wanted her to suffer. You know, emotionally.
The way she made you suffer when she started going out with Dieter.
You really don't miss a trick, do you? I thought when she dumped him like that he'd finally come to his senses and realize that I'm the one he should be with. But even now, even after she broke up with him, she still has some kind of weird, sick hold on him. Look, you're not going to tell Minette about this, are you? There's really no need. It'll just upset her all over again. And she's so far behind as it is. And there's no telling how she'd take it out on me, or on you, for that matter, just for telling her. So don't say anything to her, okay?
I'm gonna have to think about it. I'll see you later. I wonder if the symbols on these discs have something to do with the dials on the M380 decoder that Noisette Tornade used.
Look at this article.
The stone discs in this picture could have something to do with the M380 decoder Noisette Tornade used. This picture looks like it was cropped.
And Jean-Michel Traquenard wrote the article, so he probably has the uncropped picture.
What?
Why do you wear that mask?
This mask is a statement, Nancy. It's my way of telling society that it pays far too much attention to the face. I design clothes for the person. I'm telling society, forget the face. Look at the person. Look at my creations. The colors, the fabrics, the lines I choose. They are meant to enhance the person, not the face. The person. The face is inconsequential.
I thought maybe you were just trying to save money on makeup. That was a joke.
Any more questions?
Someone with a German accent called for you when you were fitting JJ, but he didn't leave a message.
Oh?
I got the feeling he'd spoken with you before.
I'm sure it wasn't important, so don't worry about it. What else?
Do you have any idea who sent you that box of cockroaches?
No. Probably just some idiot who has no understanding of how much I have to do, and how long it takes me to do it, and thinks the world revolves around him and what he wants, and can't understand why people don't jump just because he snaps his finger. I mean, probably just some practical joker, that's all.
So you have the option to tell on Heather, but if you do that, then you don't get to see an optional scene at the end. Really just picture. So I'm not going to tell.
Guess I'll be going.
I was hoping you'd say that.
We will keep Heather's secret. And now we need to go to JJ's. So this is where I think Nancy will say something about this. Maybe not. So I guess I will read it. Ask the young Frenchman who calls himself Zoo what his favorite part of Paris is, and he'll say without hesitation the part you will never see. He is referring to the tunnels and chambers that comprise the city's catacombs, not to the 2 kilometers or so that are open to tourists, but to 300 some kilometers which are supposedly off limits to the public. Okay, blah blah blah. Catacombs were created in 1785. Limestone quarries that lay beneath the city and stacked in its empty caverns in huge, artfully arranged, carefully labeled piles. Because of safety concerns, the authorities have sealed off the vast majority of these ossuaries. Anyone caught trespassing faces hefty fine, but for Zoo and his fellow cataphiles, the threat of capture only raises the volume of the catacombs' siren song. Why do I do it? Mostly because of the quiet. The quiet in the dark makes you hyper aware of everything. Okay, donning waterproof boots, coveralls, and a headlamp. But when it comes finding his way, he packs nothing more He packs nothing more high-tech than a hand-drawn map. I don't get lost anymore. At first I get lost all the time. He raises his hand, pats it. I know those tunnels like the back of my hand. Zoo claims to be an expert not only on the layout of the catacombs, but on the hundreds of mysterious marks and symbols that have been etched into this tunnel's stone walls and floors. Some were left by ancient quarrymen, some by 19th century surveyors, and a few by criminals on the run, but everything down here, he says, has meaning. Okay. He willingly gives out his phone number, which he is confident cannot be traced, and encourages anyone who thinks they know something that he doesn't... Wait, what? Which he is confident cannot be traced, and encourages anyone who thinks they know something that he doesn't to call him. I know probably more about the catacombs than anyone else in Paris, but I certainly don't know everything yet. Okay, I know that we have to call him at some point, but... I guess we can try calling him now and see if it works. Or see if we can ask him about this.
Hello, Jingjingling? Is it truly you?
No, this isn't Jingjing. I'm just calling from her phone.
From her phone? So you know Jingjing? Are you her friend?
Well, yeah, I guess.
You are the most lucky person in the monde. I am a big fan of Jingjing. I call her house and leave massage. I call Minette because I know she works there, but she will not talk to me. She is too... what is the word? Paranormal?
You mean paranoid?
Yes, paranoid. So, if you are not Jingjing, why do you call me?
This is Zoo, right?
Yes, I am Zoo.
Well, Zoo, my name is Nancy Drew, and I saw a symbol on the wall when I was in an underground passage not too long ago. It looked like 2 leaves with 2 nut-type things attached to them, and I just wondered if you could tell me what it meant or why it was there.
Yes, of course I can. But first, you must have Jing write something for me.
Write something for you?
You must have her write something that I can keep. Have her write, Zoo, my love, Jing. Then, take the metro to the Denfert Rochereau station, enter the catacombs, find the bones from the Magdalen Cemetery, and put the autograph in the skull below the plaque.
Have her write Zoo, my love, Jing, go to the catacombs, find the Magdalen Cemetery bones, and leave the autograph in a skull.
Yes, exactly that. Don't worry about desecrating the person whose bones they may be. The skull, it is a fake. My friend and I put it there. And so, after you deliver it, you call me and I tell you all about the symbol you saw.
But what if Jingjing refuses?
Then, Nancy Drew, it seems we will both be very disappointed.
Yeah, I still don't know how to trigger that. Okay. Okay, so... we need JJ to come back. But we haven't talked to our friends in a while, so let's do that.
Hello?
It's me. How was your run?
Jog. It was definitely a jog. And the best part is, it's over. What's going on, Nan?
I told you guys before I left that I'd be rooming with Jingjing Ling, right?
You mean, you really are?
Yes.
We thought you were kidding. What's she like?
Well... she's very nice, down to earth, bubbly, outgoing, just a regular person.
Wait a minute. I'm all those things. How come I'm not a famous model? Well, let's see. I was kidding, George.
I took this very strange phone call from Annette. At least I tried to.
What was so strange about it?
The guy wouldn't give me his name, and he sounded very hostile, and he had a German accent. And, not long after that, some unknown person sent Minette a box of cockroaches.
Ew, Yuck.
Tell me about it. They got loose all over her office, and she made me find them and put them back in the box.
Double yuck. Did any kind of note come with them?
Nope.
Sending anonymous letters is one thing, but sending live vermin sounds to me like things are getting personal.
Yeah, let's just hope they don't start to get deadly.
It turns out that one of the threatening letters Manette got was sent by none other than her own assistant, Heather McKay.
You're kidding. Why would she do that?
According to Heather, it was a spur-of-the-moment thing. She said she got so fed up with Manette one day that she did it to get back at her. She said she never intended to hurt her, physically at least.
Do you believe her?
I guess.
Just be careful. Maybe Minette's wackiness is contagious.
The windmill Manette works out of was once owned by a woman named Noisette Tornade, who used to be a resistance fighter during World War II.
Was it like her headquarters or something?
According to this historian in the States who's doing research on her, she lived there for some 50 years after the war, and she's rumored to have been involved in the theft of artwork that's been missing since the war, and...
There's more?
And a certain young German fashion photographer who used to date Manette has been carrying around the woman's obituary.
Why?
I don't know. Yet. That's it for now.
Have fun.
Amusez-vous bien.
Show off.
Hello?
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Nancy. What's going on?
Oh, I guess we can't talk to them about
I'll
anything.
check back with you later.
Keep in touch. Bye, Nancy.
Okay, let's talk to Jean-Michel Traquenard.
Mademoiselle Drew, what is it now?
The picture of Manette that was in the June issue of Glam Glam, was it cropped? Do you remember?
I'm sure it was. Most photographs are these days. Why?
Do you know anything about the stones that are in the background of that picture? They almost look like dials.
I do not remember seeing any dials in the picture, but as it happens, all the pictures which I use in my articles are stored right here in my digital assistant. I will help you, mademoiselle, but only if you help me first. You see, the owner of this cafe, he faces a crise. The person who makes desserts for him has stepped out for his customary 2.5-hour break. Unfortunately, a bus full of American teenagers has pulled up, and all are clamoring for parfait. So, I will tell the owner that you will make the parfait, and when you do, he will be indebted to me and will allow me to continue using this table as my office. And I will be indebted to you and will allow you to see the picture. You see how it works?
Yeah, I get the picture. Okay, looks like I've got chocolate ice cream, vanilla ice cream, strawberry ice cream, caramel ice cream, bananas, tapioca balls, berries, and whipped cream. The first one I have to make is an XY.
Okay, so it's a fun game. Just make the parfaits.
Oui, c'est ça.
Now they want l'enfer.
Wait, I messed that up.
C'est bien.
Next up, a tropical.
Parfait.
Now they want l'enfer.
Chocolate, whipped cream, chocolate, whipped cream. Cherries?
C'est bien.
Next is a corbeau.
Oui, c'est ça.
I did it right. One mystique coming up.
This is all toppings. Tapioca, cherry, banana. Cherry, banana, whipped cream, tapioca again.
Parfait.
I'm getting there. Here comes a fantasy.
Cherry, vanilla, tapioca, strawberry, whipped cream.
Merci.
Yes! A Lulu. There, all done.
The owner, he tells me you did a good job. And so, as was our agreement, here is the picture you wish to see.
Great, thank you.
So, 9, 5, 3.
So, what else do you wish from me?
It was a pleasure talking to you.
Au revoir, mademoiselle.